Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ground and Pound Podcast quick picks video for UFC Perth. Prates taking on Madalena in the main event. And you know what we're here to do. Full card breakdown, rapid fire style. My confidence to each pick is at the bottom. And if you're enjoying the content, hit that like and subscribe button. And let's kick things off in the early prelim opener of Wes Schultz taking on Ben Johnston. I'm going to be going with Schultz in this one. Division 3 wrestler. If he can get this fight to the ground, I think he's going to have enough control to be able to keep Johnson down. Johnson's level of competition is very poor. He does have the better striking. He does train out of city kickboxing. He is the slicker striker, but I think the level of competition here has me leaning more to the Schultz side. Getting back to the wrestling, he is the better grappler. Medium level confidence in Schultz to get this one done. And next up, we've got Vince Morales taking on Colby Thickness. I lean to Thickness in this one, don't we all? And let's be honest, Morales, he's kind of just a guy he's just hung around in the UFC, 3-fight losing streak. I think Thickness is definitely a step down in competition for him, but Thickness should be the busier fighter. He does have a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I think he can defend the takedowns of Morales, be the faster striker, be the busier striker, and win by decision. Not super confident, as Morales does have the wrestling to fall back on. He does have a lot of scar tissue built up, so I think he will wear it on the face for the judges to score it for Thickness, but give me Colby Thickness in a slight lean. And next up, we've got Jonathan McAuliffe taking on Thembo Garimbo. I like McAuliffe this week. I think Thembo Garimbo relies heavily on the wrestling and the grappling, and I think McAuliffe might actually be the better grappler. We saw that in his last fight against Oban Elliott, getting that rear naked choke. I think he started slow in that one. I think Garimbo is a guy on the feet that you can back up, you can pressure, and I just think that McAuliffe here is the better striker and the better grappler. I think he comes in tremendous shape. I think he gets this one done, medium level confidence. And next up, we've got Dom Mayer Fan here taking on Cody Steele. I lean to the Steele side. I think his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt here might come in handy against Fan. Fan likes to mix in a lot of wrestling. He likes ground and pound, but I think he's going to leave opportunities here for Steele's high-level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt to be able to come in handy and maybe find the submission. The only problem is playing Jiu-Jitsu off your back to a guy that can, throw a lot of ground and pound, throw elbows, is constantly looking for takedowns, might end badly if you're the one on the bottom if you don't get that submission. I lean to Cody Steele. I think he's the slightly better striker on the feet. Only a slight lean, though. And next up, we've got Gerald Mearshart here taking on Jacob Malkoon. Everything points to Malkoon in this one. He should be able to get this one done. He's the better wrestler. He has power in the hands. Gerald Mearshart is very stiff on the feet, always looking for the submission. Malkoon can keep this one standing and win it with the boxing. Feel confident he should get this one done this week. And next up, we've got Cam Roston taking on Robert Borchek. And I got to say, I feel a little bit worried about Cam Roston in this one. He has tall man defense, trains out of city kickboxing, nice front chokes. Borchek has great boxing, really nice slip and rip to the body. He walks you down constantly, and he looked great in his last fight. And I worry that Roston might get backed up here and get teed off on by Borchek here. But I slightly lean to Roston. I think he's a little bit more well-rounded. I think he can kind of time some counter-striking along with throwing the kicks as well to keep Borchek at bay. But one I'm not super confident on, so slight lean to Cam Roston here to get this one done. And next up, we've got Ollie Schmid taking this fight on 3 to 4 days' notice, taking on Marwin Rahiki, who was supposed to be on this card against Jack Jenkins. Give me Marwin Rahiki here. I think the counter-striking of him is very nice. I think Schmid on the feet is not bad. Trains out of city kickboxing. He will mix in takedowns, but I do think that he will fade as the fight goes on. And I think that Rahiki tends to get stronger. He has a great chin. He's shown a lot of toughness, and I think that's what this one's going to come down to. Give me Marwin Rahiki in a medium-level confidence pick. And next up, we've got Kevin Christian taking on Junior Taffa. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Give me Junior Taffa here. I think Christian is in tall man defense. I think his chin's going to get tested here by Taffa. Taffa showed me enough in the Billy El-Kanam fight that he was able to defend the takedowns and ultimately find the chin here of Christian. I think that takedown improvement has shown in his last fight enough that I can trust him here in a slight lean. And next up, we've got Tai Tuivasa here taking on Louis Sutherland. Tai was originally supposed to be on this fight card, taking on Sean Sharif. In steps Sutherland here. Sutherland could play spoiler here if he mixes in the grappling, but I'm going to say that Tai Tuivasa finds the knockout, gets on top of the cage and does a shoey. He needs to get back in the win column in a bad way, and I think that he can here. Sutherland leaves his chin exposed. He doesn't have the power on the feet to kind of mess with Tai Tuivasa in the pocket. Give me Tai here to find the knockout, but Sutherland could play spoiler with the wrestling. And next up, we've got Brando Perisic taking on Shamil Gaziev. Give me Perisic here. I'm very high on this young man coming into the UFC. Trains out of city kickboxing, has power in the hands, great kickboxing, 6'5", stays tall, has nice kicks, and I think he has great takedown defense. And I think Shamil Gaziev is a guy that plods at heavyweight. He is very slow, and I think he's going to have a speed discrepancy here against Perisic. I think on the feet, he's going to be lightning fast, and I think Shamil Gaziev is going to fall back on the grappling. Perisic is going to stuff those takedowns and find the knockout. Medium-level confidence here for Brendo Perisic to get it done. And next up, we've got Steve Erceg taking on Tim Elliott. Elliott, the drunken monkey style, and I'm not necessarily too high on it here at 125. He did get the nice win against Kai Asakura, but I think Steve Erceg should be better every way, should be bigger, as long as the weight cut goes okay. I emphasize that. As long as the weight cut goes okay for Steve Erceg here, moving down to 125, he should be able to bully Elliott in the grappling. He should be a little bit cleaner in the striking, and I think he should be able to get this one done. And next up, we've got Quinlan Sakil taking on Beneil Dariush in the co-main event. And if you're enjoying the content, hit that like and subscribe button. Give me Sakil here to get this one done. Quinlan Sakil should be able to find the knockout. I don't trust Beneil Dariush. 6 of his 7 losses now have all come via knockout. I think he's chinny. I think he's past it. And I think Quinlan Sakil's striking is going to be good enough here to find the knockout and find the chin in front of his home crowd. And Beneil Dariush is great on the ground. I think Sakil's got enough wrestling to keep it standing and find the knockout. And that brings us to the main event here. What a main event it is. Carlos Prates taking on Jack Della Maddalena. And if you're enjoying the content, hit that like and subscribe button. Give me Jack Della Maddalena here, dog of the week. I think he should get this one done in the boxing. I think the only place that Prates is better than Jack is pretty much the power advantage that he has. He's low volume. Jack has more volume. Jack is a little bit better defensively in the striking. He can mix in grappling if he needs to. And I think here in terms of the cardio and the output, he's going to be lengths ahead. He's got the judges on his side in terms of the Perth crowd as well. Everything he does, he should get a reaction, and I think Prates is definitely going to be looking for that one-shot powerful, kind of one-hitter quitter, and it's not going to come, and Jack's going to be kind of slipping and ripping and landing in combination. So give me Jack Della Maddalena here to get it done at UFC Perth, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!